Hello folks, welcome to the Urban Rider Studio. Now, if you're like me, you may well have received some gentle banter, some teasing from your colleagues in the past about your choice of bike. They may even have referred to it as a dad bike, which basically is just a substitution for the word sensible. I have a sensible bike because I am more comfortable than them riding year round. And they've also used that same term for certain gear in the past. This is one of them. This is the Shoei Neotec 2. And they've referred to this as a dad helmet, which again, I think is a substitution for the word sensible. It is a sensible helmet. It still looks good, but also literally means dad on this occasion because this is the helmet that my dad owns. And because of that, I've had some experience wearing it and it has loads of great features, which make it one of my favorite helmets. Was going to make it my next motorcycle helmet purchase, but it has recently been superseded by the Neotec 3, which you can see on my left here, which has all of the great features which made the original so good, but some key improvements across it, which definitely make it a better helmet. I'll explain those as we go through. As of the making of this video, the Neotec 3 has a starting price of £590. They go up to £680 depending on the colour you might want to pick. Now, if you've not had a modular helmet before and you wouldn't find any increased benefit to having a flip-up chin bar, there is another option from Shoei called the GT Air 3, which we also recently received. It is ever so slightly less expensive than the Neotec because it is slightly simpler, and like I say, it doesn't have that flip-up chin bar. I will drop links in the description if you want to check that out further. To be honest, in my opinion, it can be really useful having the option to fully open this on the front. Some really obvious reasons, like being able to communicate more clearly if you're at the petrol station or talking to friends. Some less obvious, like getting the neck tube in the right position. It's a lot easier, less fiddly to get it in the right position and then just close that front. Significantly easier to get glasses on or off. They're also a little bit more snug or secure around your neck. They can get away with a slightly smaller aperture because you're not pulling it over the top of your head. Obviously, you put it on in the open position and then close that front. And they can also feel slightly less claustrophobic, especially if you're off the bike moving around doing stuff. Obviously, if you can open it up, it's just a little bit clearer and you obviously get a lot more airflow for that reason as well. Now, you should also be aware that this is homologated or safety approved in both the open position and the closed position, which was also true on the previous generation, but was not always true of all modular helmets. Some of them were only safety rated in the closed position, so you had to double check before you ordered. With this one, and in fact with ECE 2206 safety standards, it is a prerequisite with modular helmets that they are safety approved in both the open position and the closed position, so you can ride with them in either. With some other helmets, what they'll do is they'll have a locking mechanism. So when you've got it open, you lock it in place. With this one, it does not have a locking mechanism, but they can be a little bit fiddly to use, and to be honest, a lot of people will open it and not bother using it anyway, so it becomes somewhat redundant. This one will hold itself securely in place. What I would say is just be aware where you've got it on the latch system there, because you can get the first notch. This will hold it lightly in place, but actually to secure it, make sure it is fully open like this. And you can obviously ride and flip between the two positions as you might want to. Whilst we've got it open, I should explain that the liner is fully removable. It is very comfortable, actually slightly more comfortable than the previous generation as well, but you can remove all of these things in there. You do have a neck curtain, which is fairly large, comes across your chin. You can take that out if you want to, very easy to do. Something else you'll notice are the pockets for an intercom system if you want to fit one. So you can fit any intercom system you might want to, but they actually do make a specific intercom system for this helmet in particular. Senna actually make that intercom system, and like I say, it pairs specifically with the cutouts which you've got on here. If you do decide to buy an intercom system, you may already be aware, but just in case you're not, you don't pay VAT on motorcycle helmets in the UK. And that goes for accessories as well. So if you do decide to buy an intercom system, we would recommend you do it at the same time you buy the helmet because you will get some money off. And that also goes for visors as well, and you can get tinted visors for this helmet. The opening mechanism is really easy to use. You've got that big red button there that you can't miss at all. You just use that and pop it up, or obviously close it and secure it like so. You've also got vents on the front there, improved vents over the previous generation. So on this one, although I will admit this one does protrude a little bit more, so actually it's quite quick and easy to use for the chin bar. I think I prefer the chin bar on that one. This one at least has 3 different positions, so you can fully open it or you can partially open it if you want to. It's still really easy to use though, really easy to find. The visor I think is slightly easier to use on this one because it's in the center and you just press that button in there, but your thumb will be in the right position anyway, and then just pop it up from the center as opposed to the original. And the vent on the forehead is also improved. This is a lot easier to find with your gloves over the previous generation. You've also got exhaust vents on the reverse, which are always open, but are covered over so you won't get rain through there. You've also got a breath guard, which we haven't got on this helmet, but you do get included. You also get pin lock included. It's very easy to fit and is the best way to make sure your visor will not mist up. So make sure you secure that, but that is also included in the box. And then you've got this little bug guard or fly guard down there, which you can also get out really quick and easy and clean off. I dread to think what mine looks like on my helmet because I've never cleaned it in the many years that I've owned it, but it's good that you can actually pop this out and clean that as you might need to. There is an internal drop-down visor, which you had on the previous generation, but it's slightly bigger on this one. So it actually comes down slightly further over your eyes, which means the gap for the light to get underneath that visor is smaller as well. On the inside, you have the same EPS multi-density liner for impact absorption. It uses the same AIM or AIM outer shell as you'll find with the previous gen, and it is roughly the same sort of weight as well. Now they list it at around 1,700 grams. That might sound heavy in comparison to some helmets, but trust me, this is not a heavy helmet at all, and it won't compromise your comfort whilst you're wearing it. As far as I can tell, there isn't a significant change in the shell size either between the two. They actually come in 3 different shell sizes, which is good because it means the outer size of the helmet more closely matches the actual internal size of the helmet. So it means you don't have a small with like a XXL sized shell, which just makes you look like a bobblehead. It is relatively slimline. And you can see here between the two of them, there isn't a noticeable difference between those shell sizes. Both of these helmets are a size medium. I'm also led to believe from other people's testing that it is slightly quieter than the previous generation as well. It's a really difficult thing to quantify. It does depend a lot on the type of riding that you're doing, the type of bike that you're riding as well. Lots of different variables, so difficult to quantify. However, you will notice that it is a slightly more aerodynamic shape. There are less gaps across this, which I know for sure definitely helps as far as wind noise goes. Quite often what you'll find with helmets is if they are noisy, it's because they have a huge opening on the bottom, for example, or they have little bits where the wind just catches it awkwardly and makes a lot of noise. So on this occasion, you can see that it is quite a sleek design. One other change that I will point out is with regards to the fit or the comfort, specifically to do with the neck straps. You've got this micro ratchet system on the side here. It's really quick and easy to use. Some people might prefer a double D-ring closure system, but honestly, that is nice and secure. No worries there at all. And like I say, it has been stringently safety tested, so don't have any concerns about that. All I know is it's a lot easier to put this on or off, really quick and easy to do. But over the previous generation, the strap is ever so slightly thinner. It might not seem like a big difference, but from my experience using this one, it is a little bit snug and it's also set a little bit further back. So when I was using it, I did find that if I was putting my chin to my chest or looking down, it dug in a little bit on my neck with this one, so you'd have to loosen it off a fair amount. With this one, slightly thinner, less of a problem. I did find that it is set slightly further back than some other helmets that I've tested, so still a little bit tight around my neck, but I just loosened off the strap there, and that seemed to improve it significantly. It has an impressively universal fit. We've tried this helmet on all of our team, and every one of them has come back and said this is a very comfortable helmet to wear. It doesn't seem to matter which type of head shape you have either. We have got people in the team with extremely round fitting heads, extremely oval fitting heads, and everyone seemed to get on with this helmet absolutely fine. So just double check the size guide as you might be ordering. We've got that on the website if you need to refer to it. Links for the Neotec 3 or GT Air 3 can be found in the description. Let us know what you think of this in the comment section, and I'll see you soon.